if it is group discussion, it becomes a group conversation. But this is, I am talking about everyday conversation. This is very important for students because they have to do it in English. English is not a mother tongue anywhere in India. English is only a second language. So only through conversation, second language speakers can learn English. For this, they can't get any models anywhere. People think that English conversation can be learned through English lab. It is not possible because in the English lab pre-recorded conversations are there on the system, but all the conversation that is found in records is not accessible to Indians. It cannot be understood by Indians because the accent is difficult. It is RP, received pronunciation, standard model. Another thing is, it is very fast. Students cannot understand it. So, the models that are provided in the English lab are not at all useful for the students for learning English. Those who have already learned, they can improve their skill for TOEFL and such examinations. Those models are useful because for TOEFL, in the question paper, there will be paragraphs and there will be questions under that, and the paragraphs would be read by the or spoken by a speaker, and the recorded part will be available for the students to listen to it, and the questions will be there. The questions also will be spoken, and they have to understand the spoken questions and answer the questions. That is very important. Their pronunciation is also important. But for our English lab, where we are taking performances from the students in engineering colleges or professional colleges, that much of competence is not possible. It is not necessary also, because all students are not going abroad. Those who take special coaching for TOEFL, they will need it. For them, pronunciation only will be difficult. Grammar and other parts are not difficult for them. For such people only, those recorded programs are useful. Our general students are very weak in grammar. They cannot frame even one sentence grammatically correct. They feel that there is stage fear. They claim that they know everything, but only because of stage fear they are not talking. Where is the stage in it? There is no stage, there are no large audiences. Nobody is there. Their main problem is lack of knowledge. They don't know how to speak English. They don't know basic construction of sentences. So they must concentrate on grammar first. They must learn sentence construction. In spoken language, all 4 types of sentence are necessary. Statements, questions, they are also called interrogative sentences. Orders or requests, exclamatory sentences. The sentence construction is different for each type of sentence. It is not like their mother tongue. In English, there is a strict system of sentence construction. For statements, it is subject first, next verb, and after that only we can have other words. In questions, there should be the verb first or the question word plus verb, and after that only the subject. There are 2 types of questions, descriptive questions and verbal questions. In verbal questions, the question starts with verb. Are you going to college? Are verb, you. If it is a statement, you are going to college, you subject first. This is a hurdle for students. This is very important. They are applying logic, they are asking why. There is no answer for why in language learning. It is purely imitation. They have to copy, they have to imitate the original construction. By reading first, writing next, speaking last. They must try to practice through writing the conversations and getting them corrected for their grammatical construction or for their choice of words. It is very important. Content is very important. Not only grammar, content is also very important. So students must concentrate on both grammar and vocabulary. Body language. Body language is very important in everyday language because this is for everyday life we use these conversations. So this is a very important. Body language is very important. Modulation of tone is also important. In orders or requests, there is no difficulty with tenses. The verb starts with the infinitive. Come, go, eat, bring. But that is not a verb. It is an infinitive form that we use it there. It is called imperative mood. But that alone is not order. They must be able to extend an order. Come to college tomorrow by 6 o'clock is a long order. And another type of order is indirect order. Let him go. We are asking somebody else to get work from someone else. You let him go. So there are 3 people involved in it, not 2 people. That indirect order is also very important. It starts with let. Let him go. Let them come. Let him come prepared to college. Let them enjoy the music. So that is positive. Negative also is there. Let them not go. Don't let them go. Let them not go. Don't let them go. So this type of constructions are difficult for students. They have never heard of it. They never try it. That is very important. This is the third person order or request. Then negative requests or orders also are important. Don't come. Come. Don't come. People are saying no come. They don't know how to make the negative. Making negative is very important. For any statement, they must learn making negative and questions. And in questions, there are 2 types of questions. WH question, verbal question. When there is a verb first, it is verbal question. Yes or no answers are possible for it. But for WH question, who, whom, whose, what, which, when, where, why, how. 9 question words can be used and after them the verb comes. So these must be used according to the construction. These are called descriptive questions or WH questions because all questions start with a WH word and they need an answer with description. Yes or no answers are not possible. So that is very important. That is a difficult question pattern. And then we have exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences have a structure with what or how. What a beauty. How beautiful. Their students are getting confused with these 2. With what we must use a noun. What a beauty. What a nuisance. What a stupid you are. What a fool. What an idiot. That way, with what we must use only a noun. With how, adjective can be used and must be used. How beautiful. How nice. How bad. That way, good or bad we can represent. Because exclamation means feeling, sudden feeling. That should be corresponding with our facial expressions. We can't be blank or flat on our face when we use exclamatory sentences. And exclamatory sentences need not have a verb. How beautiful it is the actual sentence, but we need not use it is. How beautiful is enough. What a beauty it is. It is not necessary. And other types of exclamations also are possible. Even statements can be used as exclamations. Questions can be used as exclamations when there is appropriate body language. Oh, it's a nuisance, we can say. Oh, it's a nuisance. That's so nice, we can say. So, it is actually a statement according to construction. But through our body language and modulation of tone, we can turn it into an exclamation. So, we have to use appropriate body language and modulation of tone for making our conversation interesting and result oriented. For any conversation, result is important. Just making our statement or just talking is not considered intelligible. If there is no outcome, there is no result, there is no work done from other people through our interaction, through our conversation, it is no use. Of course, there is chat. In chat, we talk something, the other person listens, but just listening is not conversation. You must be able to make them interested in your topic in such a manner that they also should take part in the conversation. Then only it becomes a conversation. This is also called role play. Role play means a part is played by a person in a drama. In the same manner, all human life is a drama. Every day is a conversation, and in the conversation we play a role. So, these are called situational conversations, situational dialogues, or role plays in our English lab. So, students must understand the importance of role play. The more they take part in this role play, the better fluency they will get in real life. So, for learning this, they must read novels where there are real life situations and real life conversations are possible. And they must imitate the dialogues, write them down, pronounce them, memorize them, and use them according to the situation in their real life. And in English lab, when a conversation is given to them, there are two types of role plays: formal, informal. In formal conversations, the two parties may be official. There may be a conversation between an official, upper official, lower official, or equal officials, or teacher and student. So, this type of formalities must be used in formal conversations like good morning, good evening, wishes, appropriate, decent vocabulary, respect must be shown in our talk. Distance must be maintained between the two people. There is a difference in distance, space. This is called space between one speaker and another speaker. In formal conversation, there should be much more distance between one speaker and another speaker. In informal conversation like friends and relatives, we can even touch each other. That is also important. We can be closer, we can touch, we can shake hands. All that is allowed in informal conversation. So these must be followed by the students. And students are generally speaking one or two exchanges and are concluding it. In conversation, what is seen by the teacher in the classroom is whether they are able to extend the conversation according to logic. According to the situation, there must be logic, there must be reason, there must be drama, there must be extension possible. Conflict must be possible, because in real life when there is conflict, we must be able to solve the conflict through our talk. That is the purpose of conversation. But students are avoiding this for fear of making mistakes in grammar. But if they learn grammar once, that is enough. Everywhere they can use it. So they must use their general knowledge, common sense to extend the situation. The dialogues must be extended up to 30 or 20 exchanges must be there minimum. Then only it becomes a lively conversation. So for conversation, students first must learn grammar and then practice it on paper first. Write it down and then get it corrected and then learn it, memorize it and use it according to the situation. Not when it is given in the classroom. They are merely writing in the classroom and they are memorizing it and they are coming, and when they come and give performance, they forget most of it. That is not the actual preparation. Preparation is not meant for memorizing. It makes the students understand the technique of making the conversation, for framing the content, for drawing the content, not for memorizing it. Memorizing is not necessary. It is not possible also in real life. Memorizing is not at all correct form. It is not the correct method. They should use their imagination to frame the sentences, write it on a piece of paper, try to understand how it will be turning into a fruitful conversation. The result must be important. In real life also, result is important. Every conversation is result oriented. If there is no result, there is no purpose in talking. At least you must give happiness to the listener, entertainment to the listener through your talk, and also information, knowledge, benefit, profit, work, agreement, business. Some purpose must be there in your talk. Otherwise it is useless. It is not effective, ineffective. Students must understand this and perform their lab exercises properly. And before performing it in the examination, they must do it in everyday life.